back to TubeTalk.
Welcome back, Douglas. Good to see you, mate.
Yeah, you too.
Cricket season's all but over. How disappointing that the New Zealand women's cricket team, they just 3 close results, couldn't get one over the line, and they would be in the semis. Blew it.
Yeah.
Blew it. But anyway, let's talk about other things apart from cricket.
Like horse racing.
Yeah.
And Dad, how's the shares selling from the horses you sold at Karaka?
Very well. 75% of the yearlings were purchased have been sold, snapped up by our wonderful owners, which is great. So it's progressing quickly. Yeah, really quickly. So I wanted to talk about a filly today that's going to Melbourne to Trent, Buster, Natalie Young. Al Manzoor Madam Wu filly that we've only got 25% left in, and has been popular with inquiries. And hopefully you can see her walking around. Hopefully Chopper's put her on the screen. Absolute belter of a filly by Al Manzoor, champion 3-year-old in Europe. Won 3 Group 1s as a 3-year-old up to 2100 metres. Started his career magnificently. He's left the Karaka Million winner already. And a number of winners. Out of a Fastnet Rock mare who was a champion sire. And she's got a lot of Fastnet Rock about her through her head and her physique. So great pedigree. She's going to Melbourne. Ideal for the classic 3-year-old fillies races. Prize money going to 150,000 minimum from July. She'll get every opportunity with Trent and Natalie, who are fantastic people, great trainers. Not much left in it, and I'm sure it's going to go quickly. So if you're interested in her and racing a really good filly in Melbourne, give me a call. You will not regret it. So there's our chat about the Madam Wu. Got to call the syndicate the Woohoo Syndicate.
Woohoo, it sounds great, Dad. Moving on to last week.
Thanks for your sarcasm.
Yeah. No, it is great. Darcy's flight was a good second.
Yeah, she was. First start in the South Island. She'll improve for that. I think the track conditions probably just a little on the slow side for her. If it had been a little bit firmer, would have been better, but she battled well and she's very close to a win.
Stardome was a good third.
He was, actually ran second and was relegated. We heard a bit of that lately. He's in great form. It was set up for the back markers. He was the only horse on the speed to keep going, and he was only nailed late. He's in great form, and he can be winning again very soon. Might even drop him back to a mile for his next start, and then step him up again to 1800.
And then This Is Dramatic, got an alright fourth.
It was a good fourth. So she won on debut, then went to the Karaka Million, got lost. She needed the run, and ran really well for fourth. She'll improve a lot for it. And we're not going to go to the size projects with her. Instead, we're going to take her down south for 2 races. There's a $30,000 race with a Pearl bonus for her, and then 2 weeks later, there's a listed 1200 metres. And she's certainly good enough to get black type there, and she'll be way better as a 3-year-old. She'll improve a lot, but she can get black type as a 2-year-old, so that's quite exciting.
And then we want to just briefly touch on Miss Ella and Apache Ann.
Yeah, in the Group 1s, Miss Ella went great. Probably just 1 run too far in her campaign. She ran 6th in the Group 1, and probably just, it's been her first campaign, a long campaign, she just felt the pinch late. But she's a stakes winner, she's very valuable now. She'll go for a spell and she'll return as a 4-year-old and be very, very good. Apache Ann in the Oaks, she got back, made a big run wide, just got knocked over as they approached the turn, and just kind of lost balance and confidence. And look, that was only her 4th race day start. She'd won her previous one by 5 lengths. She's only going to get better. She'll go out for a spell now, and she'll develop into a Cups horse as a 4-year-old and older horse. Really, really excited for her future.
Moving on to this week, on Saturday at Tauranga Race 3, we have quick preview.
Yeah, Tauranga a bit worried. Heavy 11 there today as we do this, Doug, and we could end up having a raft of scratchings if the track doesn't come back. Quick preview, last start winner at Ellerslie on Derby Day. I think he strikes a field he can beat again. $30,000 race. Whether we run or not comes down to track conditions. If he runs and handles the track conditions, he's a serious winning chance.
And then race 4 is Waimoku Falls.
How she was relegated last start is beyond me. You know, second in the book, but she was relegated. The horse that was promoted, it never stopped its momentum. The rider never stopped riding. I don't know how they came to that decision when they touched on the line. But anyway, we need to put that behind us. She's in the same boat. Heavy 11, I doubt whether we'll run on a heavy track. I think we'll wait with her. We don't want to knock the stuffing out of her. But if it does improve and gets back a couple of points, I mean, she's clearly going to be the horse to beat if the track comes back. I just suspect it won't come back enough.
Then race 6 is Raposa Repeater.
Exactly the same boat. A really good fourth last start. He ran the fastest last 600 of the race, 33 and change. He's getting back to good form. The distance is right from 1400 metres. It's his pet distance. He likes Tauranga. Nice enough barrier draw, good weight, all those things in his favour. Just the track. I think if it got back into like a slow 7 or even a slow 8, would probably run. But if it remains in the heavy, I think we'll scratch. So again, if it comes back a bit, he's a chance. But if it doesn't, he'll be scratched.
And then moving on to at Riccarton race 8, we have Pull Your Socks Up.
Group 3 for Canterbury Breeders' Stakes. She's got a wide draw 13, but she's got to strike a track which is probably going to be in the slow range, and that suits her. She needs it dead to slow to show her best. We're taking the blinkers off because she's just been over racing a bit. The mile suits. Her last run looks plain, but don't worry about that. The race was too short for her. The track was too hard. But she needed to have a run going into this one. Her work's been very good going in. If she settles and gets a bit of cover, she can certainly run in the first 3 in this race. She's about $18, $21. That's over the odds for her. She's going well.
Now Rosehill race 2, we have Slay Queen.
Yeah, we're going to have similar issues in Rosehill. We have a Tauranga track conditions. Soft 7 at the moment. How much rain they get could be a concern. Slay Queen. So she only had one start. This is a Group 3 over 1400. She only had one start, and she ran 5th of 5, but it was a pretty good run first up. The winner has won two in a row, and it's in the market in this race. And she only just got lost a little bit late. Blinkers go on. She's third on the ballot, so she needs a couple of scratchings to get in. She's got a wide draw, which doesn't help. Wet track, she'll either cope with it or not. John's not putting her in this race just for a throw at the stumps. He's putting her in this race because he thinks that she's developing into a nice filly. But it is tough for her on a wet track from that draw on Saturday. So it might be a little bit of a watch and hope. But if she copes with the track, she can run well.
And then race 7 is Mighty Beale.
And the $1.5 million Tancred Stakes, his first go at weight for age. It's obviously a big step up in class to a Group 1 weight for age race, but he's got all the ability in the world to cope with that. The 2400 metres, he's won a stakes race at his only attempt at that distance, so that shouldn't hold too many fears for him. The concern is track conditions. You know, he's run on a heavy track and he hasn't been able to sprint in it. And so the track's a soft 7. If it gets out to heavy on Saturday, we have to think about running him, because if we want to run him in the Sydney Cup, he probably needs to have another run. So our hand may possibly be forced to run him, but I wouldn't be confident on a heavy track about his chances. If it remained in soft conditions, I think he can run very well above what his odds say. He's a pretty good horse and he's on the way up. So he'll be a really, really good watch, because I think if conditions are right, he can run well.
And then we move on to bit of the week, which is at Tauranga race 7. We actually have a Quinella.
We do.
Which might be a bit controversial, but we'll let it slide. In that Quinella we have Hypnos and Cheval Prometer.
Cheval Prometer. Now I'm just wondering if there's a photo. There's not. So this is a race we won, I think, back in 2003 with Silky Red Boxer.
Oh yeah.
It's the first Group 2 race we ever won. with our first horse. So I think with the wet track, Hypnos can handle a wet track at a mile, and Chevelle Promoteur will really handle it at a mile. And the set weights and penalties means you're the two highest rated horses in the field and the two that handle wet track. So I think that clearly puts them on top from the rest of the field. It's just splitting them. I'd actually have Hypnos slightly on top, and he's at slightly longer odds. He's about 350 against Chevelle Promoteur's 270. But I think they're clearly the Quinella of the day. Hopefully paying about $5, 5-1. So have a bet on that for bet of the week.
You'll get your money back, won't you?
Well, you won't get your money back. You'll get it like about 5 times, hopefully. Or you'll lose it.
Oh, wow.
So yes.
Coming out confident, I see.
Absolutely.
He's sure about it, and when he's sure, he's usually right. So I'd take a bet on it too.
Thanks, Doug. We'll put $5 on for you.
Sweet.
And we will see everyone next week.
Bye.
Thanks, mate. Bye.
By a length and a half to Loston running under the whip, then Snap Dancer, Counter Rupee, Levante, and further back is Poland as they reach the clock tower over on the far side. Rockin' Horse, the astrologist, together with September Run on the near side. Levante led them, but it's over on the far side. Rockin' Horse in front. It's going to be an absolute boil over.